Welcome to Agro Labs Podcast. I'm the host, Cameron, and in with me today is my co-host, Shane Cole.
That's me. Hello, friend. Act normal.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how we can talk all the time, but then we get these headphones on and these mics in front of us, and it gets a little bit more difficult?
100%. I feel less nervous than the first time we attempted this. I don't know. I'm kind of excited to. I want to hang out anyway. I was telling someone today, like, my life is work, gym, home, work, gym, home, and I live with one of my dearest friends, but I don't get to spend a lot of time with my friends. You know what I mean? So it's nice to.
You're looking great.
Thank you, buddy.
You've been working out every day?
Mm-hmm. 5-6 days a week, man. It's I just feel better. I look better, feel better. I carry my weight deceivingly well,
Same.
Yeah. People will look at us and be like, "Oh,
you're not morbidly obese."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, because I dress well and I layer it, and I'm very,
you have a haircut.
Yeah.
You don't smell.
Yeah, you don't smell. You have your teeth, and you got a haircut. You're not morbidly obese. Yeah, I feel better about working out, but it's almost embarrassing. Have you ever lied about your weight?
On my driver's license, of course.
Exactly. That's a perfect time to do it.
And I don't even know why I get self-conscious at the BMV, trying to hide my weight, because the lady has a mustache who's asking for my weight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. For sure, she legitimately has a porn stash.
For sure, one eye is just looking at somebody else, dude. And what's funny is that I've never been to the BMV in Ohio until I got my Ohio license. Probably
terrible
4 months ago, and I swear to you, this is no joke. The lady had a mustache.
Yeah, she has a mole too.
I think it's the same lady.
It's the same lady.
It's the same one I'm thinking of. And
you can't miss her.
Yeah, for sure. I think her name's Deborah or something. I don't know. I made that up, but she's definitely not okay.
Poor Deborah.
Poor Deborah. She looks like she's from. She looks like she accurately represents the BMV in Toledo.
Do you think she gave up shaving a long time ago? She was just laser removal's not working.
Listen,
Nair isn't. Shaving isn't. I'm going to grow it out.
Some small dog she's holding hostage that she gets love from. And you know what I mean? That dog probably doesn't accept her, but it has to.
What are we talking, a Chihuahua or a Shih Tzu?
We're talking, something that it'd be hard to identify. It looks like it's half chow, half wiener dog. Just something that was going to get killed at the pound and she rescued. And this dog can't wait to die before she does, Anyway, speaking of my weight, no, I've been working out and I lie about it. I used to lie about it. I'd be like, yeah, I'm 280. The days when 280 was I remember 280 used to be embarrassing at one point because I've been up and down, and I've been claiming 280. Especially when I was still doing jiu-jitsu and boxing, I would claim 280 well into my threes. I'd be 310, 320. I was like, yeah, I'm 280. Because I meant to get back to it just so I can claim it because I carry it deceivingly well. And reality set in 90 days ago. Probably about, 4 months ago, whenever I left fucking treatment. Okay, let's start there. I weighed myself. The doctor was like, we got to check you out before you leave, all that stuff. And 346, and I was like, fuck, dude, but I knew I was up there because before I went to treatment I knew I was up there, and I'm just glad that I didn't eat my feelings in treatment to the point where I was 360 and I was like, oh my god, ring the alarm. This was the maxed out I'd been. I couldn't go more than that, and then I was 346, and then it's weird, dude, because I'll make these sorry, I don't mean to go on this weight loss tangent.
No, I'm listening. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll go on these things where I'll be like, dude, I'm going to fast. I'm not going to eat for days.
For sure.
And I've done that. I do these paleo, keto.
You're eating pistachios.
I'm a vegan, dude. I've done it all, bro. And I'm like...
Just blocks of cheese.
Yeah. For sure, dude. I'm like, this is keto. I'll just cover things in cheese and eat it and rub it on my chest.
You eat a bowl of melted chocolate with one almond.
This health. No, dude. I mean, I've done all that shit. And, like, what happens is I got on this thing. I used to fast. Like, I take these things I know work. Because, like, when I used to compete, I remember walking around at 220, 240, and being lean. But no matter what, because I've been big, I've been upwards of 400 pounds, I have this body dysmorphia. Like, no matter how skinny I got,
yes,
I always saw the biggest version of myself. So I had these things that worked. I mean, I was a vegetarian for almost a year. I didn't drink, soda and have fast food for over, 2 years. Like, there were parts of my life where I used some of these, diet-type things, in a healthy way. So I'll take one piece of it, like fasting. And then I would go extreme. I'd be like, I'm going to do a saltwater fast and not eat for 72 hours at a time. And I did it, and I would lose 10 pounds, and then I would, break my fast.
Eat Taco Bell.
That's it. I would eat Taco Bell, and for sure. That's my slutty, I'm going to eat some terrible food. It almost, when someone catches me eating Taco Bell, I feel like I got caught jerking off.
Loaded Fiesta potatoes. That was the worst part of 2020. When they took that off the menu. Fiesta potatoes, I was furious.
They say all this shit started when they started fucking with God's chicken sandwich, dude. Popeyes, bro.
Yeah.
They came after God's chicken sandwich with Chick-fil-A, and all this shit happened. Now they got the fucking plagues, dude.
Dude, Chick-fil-A is the one place you can go where you don't feel bad about being fat.
Yeah,
they're so nice to you.
They're so nice, dude. It's just you wish everyone was like that in your life, but they're not. And they're just good kids there. Just a bunch of good kids. Bunch of kids who just, believe in Santa Claus in the sky, dude. And they're just fucking...
They're happy.
They're happy.
They never work Sundays.
Never work Sundays. Never touch a drug in their life, dude. Have both parents, They weren't touched. None of that, dude. They're just fucking pure as the driven snow.
They're whole people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not like me, but I do want to say... So, all those things, I crash diet, right? I go keto. I make all these I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And what's funny is I accidentally just was you know what? I didn't even make any swear vow. I was just I'm going to do more. I'm going to work out more, and I'm going to pick better things to eat. Not even get mad when I have something. I'll eat pizza, but instead of killing a whole pizza, eat 2 or 3 slices and move on. So I just slowly started making better choices. And come to find out, if you eat less and you move more, you lose weight. And that's what has been happening. So I started going to the gym probably 2 or 3 months ago. And in combination of just not eating like a maniac, I've been able to drop weight. So here I am. I weighed myself the other day. I was 317. Now that was when I first woke up. Today I was 319 when I woke up. So I'm right there. But still 25 pounds off me. I feel better. I look better. My clothes are fitting better. And I don't have to crash anything. I had fucking pizza yesterday, dude. I quietly ate chocolate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I mean, but that's
Did you eat any of the cheesy bread?
Yeah,
that's the best thing from Marcos. It's the best thing, dude.
I ate it. What's fucked up is I had eaten a sandwich right before that, and then that pizza arrived, and I was like, well, we know what we're doing now. We're going to double down. I'm going to shove cheesy bread on top of this.
I'm not going to eat breakfast.
I'll torture myself later.
Dude, I was going crazy before COVID. And I think it kind of led to... I really don't know why I was in the hospital in March. Mm-hmm. I don't remember being in the hospital in March. They had me on Versed. So I was completely conscious but don't remember it. And there was 3 days where I was completely out of it. With breathing tubes and all of that. But for that month before the beginning of March, I worked out every day.
Hell yeah.
And I had dropped 40, dude. Right? And I felt great. But then I went to the hospital and they said I had a gallbladder infection. And everyone kept saying, oh, dude, it's because you worked out. I don't know what it was. Could have been from working out. Maybe. Could I be in kidney failure? Maybe. You know, was it my gallbladder? I don't know. Was it COVID? Who knows?
Right.
But it just happened, and I haven't been able to start working out like that since, because really, here's just the truth. I'm just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I
get it.
don't want to go after work, right? I don't want to go after 11:30 at night. My girlfriend works late. I want to stay up and see her. So I don't want to wake up at 10 a.m. to go work out.
That sounds awful.
That's just the truth, you know?
It sounds awful. That's one reason I get it. So, like, there's this trade-off for the shift that you work and the shift that I now work. My other shift was so goddamn short-lived, but that's my own making. But my point is, there's a trade-off for working, like, at 3 in the afternoon, you know?
Yeah.
And
you have to wake up early, but
you're sacrificing that evening time, and it's cool. Maybe make the most of those days off. Like, that's the thing. I have no fucking solution for anyone else. Like,
right.
I will share openly what's worked for me and what's not. And I just know that for me, like, I tripped and stumbled into accidentally losing like 30 pounds. And I'm like, okay, let's keep it up. So I'm just continuing to do better, but not crucify myself if I'm just like maintaining or I have an off day. Like, dude, I mean, no one's getting off this rock alive. So I'm going to eat pizza. I'm going to have chocolate, and I don't give a fuck. But I also want to feel good. Dude, I used to, I mean, that's the thing. It's so weird. I feel like Al Bundy now because I'm 34 years old. I'm an old man.
You're old enough to experience everything bad.
For sure. If I die now, no one cares. It's like the Louis C.K. bit. Like, once I, dude, in a few years when I die, people will be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like, oh, he didn't. He was a young man. It's like, dude, this kid had a chance, and now he's damn near 40. And it's like, it's weird, bro. Like to recognize that at 28, I used to travel around the country and compete. And I did it. I even did it when I was out of shape, like a year ago, 2 years ago. I've taken a couple like super fights, like paid matches for jiu-jitsu, and like I show up out of shape. Like my last match was against a dude who was like 6'8", 400 pounds, and I leg locked him and I won, and I felt like a Jedi. But I was so out of shape. Like I had no business. The old me used to like run sprints and shit, and this me was like, I'm gonna shave my head and show up at 330 pounds and leg lock this bitch.
Speaking of sprints.
Oh yeah. Talk about that. All right, if we talk about that, we're talking about all of it. So
we can talk about all of that. I have no problem.
It was pretty funny.
I fell down. I was a klutz after the fact of the sprint. But today after work, me and Shane had a sprint. Let me just tell you, this thick boy can fucking run, dude.
He can move, dude. It was surprising because, like, dude, I'm, like, deceptively fast.
Yeah.
You know, but again, my age, I'm wearing these New Balances that I feel like give me an edge.
Dude, you should be able to run miles in those bad boys.
For sure, man. I mean, I could grill a steak better. I can fucking probably, beat my wife in these. There's a lot of things I can drink milk really good in these. But the thing is, warm strawberry milk in these. But the thing is, I tried to chase you, and I was like, oh, damn, he's pretty quick. And then we had the actual runoff, and you destroyed me. Like, to the point where, like, you ever, like, race somebody, and then at the end you just give up? You see them sprinting ahead, you're just like, well, I guess I'll walk this off.
You were faster off the line than me.
I felt like I was going, but you had this little Fred Flintstone gate with your feet. You're like, brrr. I was like, God damn it, dude. But you won, but then you doubled back, and this is what you said. You said, I'm like a linebacker. And you started running, and you ate so much shit, dude. It was fucking great, man.
I was so pissed, dude, because if you look over there's stains on my jeans.
No.
And those are my favorite jeans. And I don't know how you get asphalt stains.
Asphalt oil stains. I mean, you went. I'm looking at the jeans now. They are fucking camoed with the asphalt. I can't believe how bad you fucked the jeans from John. I mean, I fell on the ground laughing. Like, I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
But you're pretty deceptively quick. I mean, and that's the thing, man. It's like I'm older now. And I'm not the guy that used to run. I used to run up a mountain 3 days of the week at 6 a.m. A small mountain. But a mile and a half.
It's a mountain, though.
Kennesaw Mountain. It was a mile and a half up.
It's a mountain.
I'd wake up before the sun rose, and like a weird fucking fat Bruce Lee, I would run up the mountain, wait for sunset or sunrise, and I would meditate as sunrise came and like breathe in the energy.
When you said a fat Bruce Lee, I just thought of Kung Fu Panda.
That's it.
That's what
I eat a lot of dumplings now. I'm not gonna lie. I've hacked calories. I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you, I've hacked these calories, and I go to Walmart and I get these little steamed dumplings, and they're like 250 calories for 6 of them, and they're perfect. They're like the perfect meal. And I'm like, I could squash 250 calories, eat dumplings, feel like Kung Fu Panda, and still lose weight because I'm under my calories. And I've been, honestly, I told MJ that today. I was like, dude, I think I've eaten dumplings 4 days this week, but I'm losing weight.
You got a bandana and chopsticks when you eat them?
For sure. I'm appropriating a whole culture, dude.
just in one fell swoop of a dinner, you're just appropriating the whole culture.
I've been looking at bamboo lately, like, maybe I should eat that shit, dude.
Maybe I should get a tiki bar.
Maybe I should, dude. Yeah, trying to just, like, come to terms with I'm not the athlete I was, which is cool. I still box a little bit. I would still do jiu-jitsu. I actually went... That's how did you see that scar on my head? Like it's been split open?
Yeah.
You see that? So that's new. That's since I came up here. I went and trained with this guy, Dante.
He sounds like he gave you a scar.
Yeah. His name's Dante, right? Like guys named Dante or fucking Fabio or some shit. Those are like,
He's
like,
from France but lives in Ohio for some reason.
Why? Yeah. His name is Dante Leon. He's a Canadian grappler who lives here who's really high level, like flow grappling, really good guy. Well, he's friends with my old instructor. So when I came up here, I'm researching. I'm like, what kind of fucking MMA gyms are in Toledo, Ohio? And I find a jiu-jitsu gym that actually, like, they're credentialed and they know my coach. So I'm like, let me go over there. And it wasn't him who fucked me up. I was actually training with this guy who used to live in Georgia and train at my old gym. This guy, Mike Graves. Yep, he fought in Bellator. He's got bare knuckle fighting coming up. So I'm training with him. Bare
knuckle fighting is fucking insane.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It's insane.
So him and his girl are there. We're training. I'm like, yo. I was like, dude, I know Q. You used to train at my gym. I remember you. You know some of my friends. Mike's like, hell yeah, dude. So we're training. This guy's like got a mullet. You know, like ironic, like way too in shape, dude. Mullet. And he's a fighter, and I'm fucking 340 pounds fresh out of rehab. And I'm just like, yo, dude, yeah, I used to train. Let's go, man. So I'm rectifying that I'm not an athlete, but I have all these techniques that I'm good at. So we're wrestling, and I'm just like having fun with this guy. And he's like, oh, you hold mitts, and like, let's train. So we train a few days together. I go up there. I'm going up there like every week for like 3 or 4 weeks. And then one day, me and him are wrestling. We're standing up, and like it's getting kind of heated. It's like, okay, this guy is a pro athlete, and in my dumbass mind, I'm like, I've been paid a couple times. I'm a pro athlete. Like it's just like, dude, hang it up, bro. So we're wrestling, and he goes to take me down, and I like reverse it, and like he goes to pass my guard. The point is, like, he tries to throw me. I wind up reversing it. I throw him. And then he goes to pass my guard and headbutts me. And my head splits open.
No shit.
Blood goes everywhere. It's like, dude, oh my God. And remember I had that dumbass dyed hair?
Yeah.
My hair was dyed purple, and it was just like, it just went completely red. Like, it was everywhere. So they, like, kind of nursed me. Like, some girls come over and, like, wipe the blood off the mat.
You enjoyed
like,
that.
That was nice. I was like, it's on my dick. And that's where it is. Get that part. Wipe that part,
please.
And
faster.
They put me back together, and they're like, dude, they're like, you need stitches. So instead of going to the hospital, I went to a Walgreens or CVS, and I walked in.
Butterfly, that motherfucker.
I bought butterflies. That didn't work, so I bought, after I got home, it was just gaping gash. I got pictures. I'll show you. If you ever put this up, like maybe I'll put the pictures on. But I put super glue on it, thinking that would do well. It works like stitches, and it did. It like super glued it together. But now I have this dumbass Harry Potter scar on my head.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, dude. You're a dumbass, Shane.
You're an athlete, Shane.
You're still an athlete, Shane. So yeah, I mean, I kind of hung it up. Since then, I haven't returned. I've now hit a bag that doesn't hit back at a Crunch Fitness. That's where my life has taken me. I used to work out in MMA gyms, and now I'm in a Crunch Fitness, fucking hitting a heavy bag quietly.
Stop downing yourself, man.
I know.
Stop. Like, here's the real thing, right? Is like, did you see that pizzazz in my step I had tonight?
Yeah, you had a little pizzazz.
I weigh more than you, dude.
Yeah,
I weigh more than you, right?
We're close.
So, no, I weigh more than you now, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm telling you this right now, bro. I've been good physically at everything I've tried to do ever in my life. Ever. If I try to do it, and I consistently try to do it, I get better at it. Let's just be honest. You were smoking crack for a little while.
Yeah.
You got a little bit out of shape. Right? But you're definitely still an athlete.
I'm capable.
You're definitely capable, man. So, like, that's, like, the real thing we're talking about here is, like, yeah, it kind of sucks. You're kind of coming to terms with
where I'm actually at.
With where you're actually at, right? But that, I mean, look at the guys who are, like, 60 years old getting tests from their doctors, but still shredded.
Right. And that could be me.
That could.
It could. Well, and it's the same thing. It's the disease of, like, it's diseased thinking, right? And I don't mean to blame it all on, like, a disease, but it's this, like, self-centered, self-sabotaging thought that my prime has come and gone, even though I get more handsome by the
You
fucking
just
year.
lost 30 pounds, but you're still not good enough for yourself.
Right, exactly. Right?
You know what I mean? You're
can't-
still like, you're not an athlete.
Dude, you know what's funny? The other day I told, I forgot who I told this, but I was working and I'm cleaning a mirror, and I like turn. You know that look where you turn back and you see your neck roll behind, and I hit that angle and I saw myself and I was like, oh, the neck roll, and I was like, wow. And I was like, and I had this terrible negative thought, like, oh, you fat piece
You
of
have
shit.
a thick neck.
That's thick.
I'm not saying that in a mean way. Like, it is, like, dude, you could, like, someone could karate chop you in your neck and you would not feel it.
It's why I was good at grappling. People struggle to choke my ass. But my point is, I'm looking back and I see it. And I was like, my first thought was like, you should just give up, you fat fuck. Like, just double down on being fat. That's what I thought. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, sometimes I witness myself. Like, I try not to be too critical of my own thoughts, but I'm like, I witness how I talk to myself. I'm like, you dumb. I get mad at myself for talking to myself like that. Like, what are you doing? So it's hard being me, man. My thoughts are rough. But no, man, I'm doing good. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling better. I'm taking care of myself. Oh no, I was gonna say that thinking extends to everything, right?
Yeah.
Like taking an accurate reading of where I'm at physically, and then moving forward. I do the same thing with my career. I do the same thing with, I do this.
Yeah.
I try to live in the past, and I don't take an accurate read of where I'm at, and give myself credit for where I'm at, and then just move on and have gratitude for where I'm at. Like, dude, I just lost 30 pounds. Like, dude, have some gratitude. Bro, you got 6 months clean. Like, you're doing great. Like,
you have friends. You have a place to live. You have a car. You have a job. You lost 30 pounds. You're working on yourself.
Yeah,
dude. Tell yourself some positive
Be
affirmations,
nice,
dude.
Yeah. Look in the mirror and say you're fucking worth it, bro. I mean, that's it. Like, I look at all the shit I don't have or what I used to have. And what's funny is even when I had it, I used to have a house in downtown Kennesaw, was partial owner of a fucking gym, was 220 pounds and winning tournaments and getting my hand raised, and I felt empty, and I turned to heroin when my old lady left me. Like, what the fuck? Like, that was never enough. So what makes me think that it's there anyway? You know? But
that constant battle with self, man. And then, like, if you really ask, like, people who are close to you, like, what they think about you, they'd probably give you a way different answer than what you would say about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you go ask a homeless man what he thinks about you, or go ask someone else who has a way worse than you. Like, hey, I'm a little overweight, I'm a little chubby, I got a okay job, I have my own place, and my bills are paid.
yeah. Like, wow, that sounds great. I'll trade you in a heartbeat. Well, you're right.
Do you have a cigarette?
Yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, it's I exist outside of my own perception of me. And that's hard to rectify. Like, it's hard to think that, like, oh yeah, I'm not just my perception of me. That's I project that onto everybody. Like, oh, they're looking at me like I think everyone thinks about me like myself. You know, and that's not true.
Not at all.
Most people are pretty happy to see me today. Most of the time. Some of them are like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, man, we gotta let ourselves off the hook sometimes, man. We really do. You gotta be nice to yourself. Like, not for nothing, I'm a 26-year-old man in Toledo, Ohio, who's doing okay for himself.
Doing real okay for himself.
A 26-year-old man in Toledo, Ohio, having a place, having a car, a decent credit score.
I'm not going to cough on the mic, I promise. But I did burp.
That's okay. Is everyone's living at their mom's house still. If you're in Toledo, Ohio, 19 through 25 or 19 to 30. Actually, I'll say this. Probably the whole United States, young men 19 through 30 are still going through college, living with mommy and daddy.
For sure.
For sure.
Dude, at 20...
They're banking on an analyst job at some shitty stock brokerage firm.
Let me tell you what I was at 26. At 26 years old, I had just got out of jail for serving a 10 to serve 4-year sentence, right? 10 to 4 for robbing a pharmacy. And I wound up doing 2 of those years. So I'm coming out of jail 2008, 2009, 2010. Yeah, so I'm coming out of jail 26 years old.
What year was this?
So 2010.
I just lost my virginity.
2010. Okay, 10 years ago, I would have been... How old am I? 34?
24. You've been 24.
24, coming out of jail. So at 26, let's fast forward a little bit. You're right. So I just come out of jail.
I just lost my virginity.
You just lost your virginity. At 26, I'd been out of jail for 2 years. I had just started working at an MMA gym. I was mopping floors at an MMA gym.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this shit almost 10 years.
You're probably happy to mop floors at an MMA gym.
Mm-hmm. I had like 5 years clean. Yeah, I had like 5 years clean, and I'm mopping floors at an MMA gym, and I thought, or 4 years clean, I thought it was the shit.
How did you make it from the transition to, the profession of John Dillinger to to MMA? I never really got that from you. I heard like little parts of stories from you, but I never. How did you get from, hey, I was doing pills and went to prison to hey, I'm at an MMA gym and I'm training jiu-jitsu.
So like part of recovery is right, like just taking good care of yourself or finding things that you like. You learn more about yourself. I think that's pretty universally true. I wound up, getting sober. I get clean. I go to jail. I face consequences of my past. After being clean for 2 years, I come home. Now I got 4 years clean, and there was this like void, right? Like I've been in jail. I've been this big guy.
I need a hobby.
And I'm never gonna go back in my mind. I'm like, dude, I've got to move forward with my life. And my whole adult life, I've been big. Like, even since I was a kid, dude, since, like, 2nd grade, bro, I've been, like, hitting 200 pounds. Like, I was a big boy. I played football. Like, literally, like, I didn't have a choice. Like, coaches would come to me and be like, you're playing football. I went to high school, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do something else, like art. And they're like, no, you're coming to play football. I was like, God damn it, dude. I couldn't get away from it because I was so big. But, yeah, man, I was just way too big, bro. Like, I would emotionally eat. I had this terrible relationship with food, all this shit. So somewhere along the way, like, I think I wound up going to... Oh, that's what it was. I was in college, and they had this grappling club. And my friends, my roommates, were going to this grappling club. And I went one day. I was like, I'll go. And it's just these guys wrestling in a base like this, like in a basement.
Were they in togas or naked?
No, dude. There was one dude in a gi, right? Like, so like wearing those pajamas. Yeah. He had a purple belt on. This guy, Jet, I'll never forget, Jet Hathaway. He had this gi on, and he was teaching us, and he was 160 pounds. And every guy there, I'm like, at the time I've already lost weight. I've been lifting weights and working out. I'm like almost I'm like right under 300. I'm like 290.
You're getting chiseled.
I'm getting, for me, bro, 290. People are like, bro, you've lost 50 pounds.
Yeah, and just so people know, you're pretty tall.
I'm tall. I'm like, 6'2", 6'3". So at the time, I went from like 350 or 375 over the past couple of years getting clean down to like 290, and I've already arrived.
You were wearing black Hanes hoodie, and you went down to like white tees.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I'm not trying to hide my flub rolls or nothing. So I show up, and they're all wrestling in this basement. And there's a couple dudes who are like 250, and I'm the biggest guy there. I'm like, okay. So I'm wrestling these new guys, the KSU Grappling Club, and I pin like the first 3 guys. And then the instructor's like, okay, me and you. And he's this little 160-pound dude. I'm like, dude, I'm going to break you in half. And
is KSU Kansas State University?
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw.
So
that's in Atlanta, correct?
That's just north of Atlanta.
Okay.
So he goes to armbar me. He armbars me. I tap. So I do it again. Tap, 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 tap. I got so mad. I was like, fuck this. This guy tapped me so many times. I was like, how could I beat up all these guys and this little guy's fucking me up? He's like, that's jiu-jitsu. So I fell in love with it, and I went and joined a gym Fast forward a few months later, I went and competed. A few months later after that, I'm teaching kids. A few months later, I'm helping them build a website for the gym. And then probably after my first year, I went to work for another gym, like an MMA gym. So I never planned on fighting. Like, I didn't even plan on competing.
You were just doing it for the love.
For the love. I was like, I like training. I like tapping out people. I like getting tapped because I'm learning. Like, you've heard the Joe Rogan, it simulates death. Like, every time you tap, you're learning. You're saying, you killed me, right? And it's fun. It's just like, it's the ultimate dude game. Like, when you're a kid, you always wrestle your cousins or you wrestle your friends.
If you don't grow up with brothers or cousins who pick on you and beat the shit out of you, I mean...
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Exactly. So this is the grown-up version. Like, you get these guys together who are fucking selling their time to a job they hate, and they come there after work, and we simulate death, and we tap each other out, and we learn, we laugh, and it's fun. But it's also this real exercise in humility. Like, the first year I trained, dude, I tapped over and over. People were fucking me up over and over. And then all of a sudden, I got harder to tap. Like, next thing you know, like, instead of tapping me in a minute, it would take that person 5 minutes to tap me, or they couldn't tap me the whole roll. Or fast forward to like a year in, like, I'm giving blue belts trouble, then I'm winning tournaments. And like, I didn't mean to like start competing, but so I go to this other gym, I wind up selling memberships for them. I work there all the time, and I just was passionate about it, man. I like teaching kids. I like doing my thing. And I didn't mean to like try to learn how to fight. So like, even striking, like this old boxing coach that I had, Coach Nate, rest in peace. He was like, "Oh, when you gonna come to my class? I'll train you like a heavyweight." I was like, "Dude, you're gonna make me run?" He's like, "No, I'll train you like a heavyweight. Like, you could come in." And so like, I accidentally learned how to box. Like, I accidentally learned how to do like...
Boxing is tough.
Dude, grappling's easy in my book. Like, boxing's fucking hard, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot to go. When you were showing me the mechanics, there's a lot that goes into that.
Dude, it's fun now. Like, even now, so like, I used to chase my belts. So I'll kind of get to the point. I worked there for years. Sweat equity, dude. I get in, training, staying sober, changing my life. Mopping fucking floors.
Yeah, let's not forget about that, because you were real humble in that position.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And they opened it up to me, man. I became the general manager of that gym, and sold all the gym memberships, would take people to compete. I started coaching. So by the time I had my blue belt, like a year and a half in, I lived, breathed, sleep. I started covering classes for my coaches, like, well into my blue belt, and I finally got my purple belt. By the time I was a purple belt, like 4 or 5 years into training, I was teaching fundamentals classes, teaching all the kids classes, and doing privates. So like, I had an accomplished record. Like, I had X amount of... I probably have, like, at my parents' house, there's like 30 medals that I have from just tournaments. And they're not all prestigious. Some of them are 2-man divisions. But I've also traveled out to the West Coast. I've been all around the country. Started taking fights where it was like, paid matches. And then in terms of like fighting, I could never get an MMA opponent that would make weight with me to do a fight. Boxing, exhibitions, absolutely. MMA's a tougher thing for heavyweights, right? But most of my matches have been in jiu-jitsu. But dude, boxing, that's the sweet science. Like, that's what I'm interested in now. That's what's fun. It's engaging. And like, I just lost my way with it. I had this like epiphany, like, who gives a fuck? You know? If I was the best grappler in the world, if my heart's not in it, didn't matter how many times my hand got raised, it felt empty after a while. It's like, who cares whether I win or I lose? It's me. I'm the only one who cares. Name 5 grapplers right now. Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo, right? It's like, name 5 black belts. Like, people who do jiu-jitsu care about jiu-jitsu.
Royce Gracie.
Yeah, there you go. There's 2. Some of these are very old men now, but
I've actually watched a couple of the Gracie fights. It's really interesting. I actually like the YouTube channel where Gracie breaks down street fights. And kind of thinks about it in a jiu-jitsu way. I'll never forget, I was 14 and I was always like 6. Right when I hit my growth spurt, I was like 6'1", 6'2", and 180, 220 pounds all throughout high school. That's where my weight was. And dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I beat the shit out of kids. Yeah, I just did.
You were a child in a grown man's body. You're
Yeah,
like, it's time to fuck these kids up.
The only time I got my ass beat was when kids would jump me.
Mm-hmm. I've had that happen.
I'll never forget it, man. So like, I was at the mall and there was like 6 guys, but these 2 kids wanted to fight me. But the other 4 guys were like men. Mm-hmm. And men as in not like old like us, but definitely 18 and 19.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No business fighting a kid.
They were definitely smoking squares. You know what I mean? They could go and buy you a pack of squares or some Rellos. And one of the kids was like, go ahead, square up. You can fight me first. And I'm like, you guys are all going to fight me. And he's like, no, we're not. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. And he's like, no, bro, come on, just me and you. So we stood in a corner of a mall parking lot garage door, and I punched him in the face and I fucking knocked him out in one punch. But then as soon as I punched him, I started getting fucking beat down, dude.
Yeah.
But there was this time I was at a party, and a fist fight broke out. Someone hit my buddy. We started brawling. I beat one kid up in front of me. There was this real small guy.
Yeah.
Had to be 5'2". I'm 14.
Yeah.
I'm a full foot taller than him.
Yeah.
And probably a good 80 pounds more than him. Right? He's like, come at me, motherfucker. And I'm like, let's fucking go. I pop top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He runs at me. I hit him with an uppercut. And I'm on my fucking ass. I'm on my ass, and he's beating my face in while he's on top of me. Come to find out, that kid's a fucking state wrestler.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. That's it. And that's what's crazy is that as men we have this like this unnatural sense of we can fight. Like men are like that. Our testosterone's like, oh, I'm the fucking alpha, dude. And like the thing about like wrestling or jiu-jitsu or boxing, like it kind of humbles you and it teaches you like, oh wow, there's skill involved here. And it takes a good amount of training to learn how to. So that's one thing it's given me more than anything is this peace of mind. Like, don't get me wrong. After getting my purple belt and being really good at jiu-jitsu and winning a lot of matches, I remember I was in jail and they were like, we're not going to let that white boy use the phone. And I was like, I'm using the phone, dude. I'm getting on the fucking phone. And they went and threw my mat out of my room. You know, I remember the guys in jail were like, they threw my mat out of my room and they were trying to control this phone, right? And, you know, and it wasn't this racial thing. It specifically, I just remember them saying, like, this motherfucker, we ain't letting him use the phone. And I was like, I'm calling mama, dude.
Yeah,
I'm calling mama.
I need my commissary.
I'm calling mama. So I'm in jail for whatever dumbass thing I did. You know, I think I was shoplifting for drugs. And this is my fall from grace. I've already been like not an athlete for 9 months, and I've been doing drugs. It's bad news. And you know, I remember going up to one-on-one with this guy, and the guy was already a formidable opponent. Like, he was about 220, and I'm about 260.
He was doing push-ups every day.
But this dude was yoked, and I was like, okay. But I'm confident. I'm like, that's what's up. So, like, I go up, and I remember just, like, two-piece him, boom, boom. But, like, before I threw my first 2 at him, and I hit him, and then next thing you know, he's rushing me. But, like, both sides, there were 2 other guys that jumped me, and I get jumped. And I cover up, you know, they box my ear a little bit. You know, I just kind of cover up, eat all the punches, get jumped. So I was like, all right. So I stood up, got a busted lip. I walked downstairs, and guess what? I was on the fucking phone.
On the fucking phone.
Hell yeah, with a busted lip. You know, so like, I mean, I've definitely been jumped and been beat up before, but jiu-jitsu gives me that, like, that peace of mind that, like, if I had to, I may not beat you in a foot race. You know what I mean? I may not beat you in a foot race, and I may not lift the most weight in the gym, but I have this probably this unwarranted sense of, like, I could probably handle myself with most people, because, and that same thing carried me to getting my head split open.
I'm not gonna lie. If you attack me, I'm gonna use something heavy and beat you over the head with it.
You should probably try to kill me.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight with you. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you touch my wrists. Yeah. I don't want you on me. I'm going to try to hit you with something large.
Yeah, and that's it. Like that, there is no. This isn't the Wild West. You can't. I can't challenge you to a duel. Like people will shoot me, so it's not good for me to walk around like, oh, I'm a bad motherfucker. But if someone tried to grab me, I could throw them on their head. I could protect myself.
No one really wants to get into a fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like even in my most mad, like as a kid, maybe I was just doing it for the ego. But as an adult, I'm never like, I'm gonna beat that guy up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if someone was threatening me or like you can tell when a guy wants to fight you, right? Like you can. I don't let anyone touch me. Like if I know you're mad at me and you push me, like we're not having a pushing match. We're gonna fight. Like I'm gonna strike you when you push me.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't like being in those situations.
Yeah.
Bad things can happen.
You know how the joke is, I'm too nice, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm too nice. So
I think you're great.
Thank you. Well, I really don't. I'm a big teddy bear, dude. Like I really am super nice. I'm super sweet. I would never want to hurt somebody on purpose. There are a few things that would make me physically violent, you know? And like fucking with my security is one of them. Like my sense of like security. Like is this person trying to hurt me?
Yeah.
You know, I will defend myself or like my family, right? And I remember, dude, there was one time right before Christmas, this guy I worked for at another gym, he was the manager at this other gym. He was stealing my sales, right? Rewriting them into his name.
No.
You know, and I the owner knows me, and the owner was like, you know, hey man, like I told him what was going on, and I was like, dude, this guy's just taking my shit. It's right before Christmas. You know, he's already getting paid. He's taking my sales, which I'm like making this commission, and I'm trying to make enough to fucking give my daughter a Christmas.
To live a life.
To live a life, you know? And at the time, I'm like getting my shit together. I'm in drug court. You know, I'm lucky to have an opportunity to work for this guy. And, you know, the owner's like, yo, dude, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Just hang in there. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. I'm covering classes for this guy. I'm teaching kids. I'm doing all this stuff, right? I'm teaching a 6 a.m. jiu-jitsu class. I'm selling gym memberships. I'm driving an hour and a half from drug court over there, closing the gym at night. So I'm doing all this stuff for this guy, and this guy's stealing my sales. And
the owner or just this guy?
This guy.
Okay.
He's like the manager of the gym. The owner runs the other facility. So I'm, dude, I haven't been this mad in a while. And I remember I knew he was setting me up for failure. I knew what was going on. I let the owner know what was happening. And I show up one day, and I knew he was going to do it. And it was like it was this time of year. It was like the 14th of December, 2 years ago. I remember it. And because those little Facebook memories pop up, I remember teaching a class that day, and something had been shown in my class. And I walk in, and he tells me, he's like, hey, go home Saturday morning. I come to open the gym. He's sitting there. You know, he's taken off all week. I've been covering for him, you know. And he's like, hey, go home. You know, I changed those sales to my name, and you just have to go home today. And I was like, dude, Christmas is in a week. I was like, I'm not going home, and you're stealing my sales. He's like, if you don't leave right now, I'll call the cops. Now, know something. In this world, the fight world, MMA gyms, most of us have sorted past. The kind of guys that do jiu-jitsu are typically like people who would wind up in prison if they didn't have it. Yeah. You know, they wind up, they're recovering drug addicts. Everyone has a past. So this guy broke a cardinal rule. We handle this shit in-house.
On the mat.
On the mat, in-house, you know, square, whatever you got to do, we handle it. And I'm not saying he should have been unprofessional, but he also, you don't threaten the cops. I mean, the owner of the facility puts you this way. The owner is very open about his past. He came from a halfway house, was folding towels at that gym, and became the owner of that fucking gym. We do not call the cops on each other, right? So cardinal rule, he's already strike one. Now he's telling me go home, strike two. It's right before Christmas, strike three. And it's been brewing against this guy for a while. And I remember shutting the door on him. He was sitting there, and I was like, tell you what, I'll give you a reason to call the cops. So I shut the door, and I was like, listen, Mark, I fucked up and said his name. I was like, listen, dude, if you fucking stand up, I'll knock every fucking tooth out of your head. I was like, you better pray to whatever God you believe in, you never see me on the mat. Pray you never see me on a jiu-jitsu mat, because I'm going to choke you, and I'm going to hold on no matter how much you tap until your breath goes, dude. And he sat right there. He just sat there, and he did not get up. And I was like, if you stand up right now, I'm going to fuck you up, dude. And I meant it. I meant every bit of it. I was so heated.
What a fucking slime ball.
Slime ball, right? So I leave, and this is how cool, and I believe in God, right? This is how cool God is. So even in my worst moment,
even in some dark, aggressive moments, right? Some tense moments where you might have,
fucked up.
Yeah, intellectually fucked up. You had your emotions play over you, and you just let them ride.
I acted childish, right? I acted out of character. I was unprofessional, and now I fucked myself. So I leave the gym, and every Saturday, once a month, they do this big team training. All the jiu-jitsu guys meet and train together at the main location, and I've already wanted to be down there. I've already been miserable under this guy for 6 months, And I get in the car, I call my coach, and I was like, I just lost my fucking job, He just fired me a week before Christmas. I threatened him. I said I was going to beat the shit out of him. And my jiu-jitsu coach says, come down here. Come train. Just come here. And no one's fired you yet. He doesn't have the power to fire you. Even though he's the manager of that gym, the owner kind of has the final say, right? So like, just come train. And I was like, okay. And I thought I just fucked up royally. Like, this is the one job I had. I just got sober again. I've got 9 months sober. I'm like, what am I doing, man? My temper, right? And I go down there and I do jiu-jitsu. And I just train with team training. I'm with the whole team. There's 40 people on the mat. I have fun. I cool off. It cools me off. And at the end of it, I'm sitting beside the owner, and he's got his gi on. He's a black belt, and he looks at me and he's like, be here Monday. I was like, oh. So I started working on there, and it was beautiful. And he's a dear friend of mine. He's just always had my back, even with all the fuck ups I've had. He's always just wanted to see me healthy and happy. And
how could that guy get away with stealing your sales, though? I mean, how was that?
It's like the devil, right? So the guy did a lot for that owner. He still does a lot. And I eventually made amends. I told him, I was like, look, man, we're good. We're fine. Don't worry. I'm, hello, hi, you're in the gym I'm at now. I'm here, you're there. So we're good. So there's no real ill will. I just let it be. But I just knew what he was made of, Yeah. But yeah, he was just stealing my sales because he could. There was no oversight. This isn't like a big corporate company where there's someone to report HR. They knew what was happening. I told the powers that be, and they knew where there's smoke, there's fire. But, they couldn't get rid of him and put me in his position. It's not like that, right? The guy's been doing good for 3 years. He's willing to show up at 6 a.m. and close at 10 o'clock. It wasn't that. Sometimes when it comes down, is it me or him? I had to go,
Yeah.
That's where I thought I fucked up. But the cool thing is there was a place for me somewhere else. A little bit of grace in my dumbass moment.
It was weird this weekend. I went to get the girlfriend some flowers. So I went to I went and worked for a couple hours, ran a group, and then afterwards I wanted to get some flowers and kind of just surprised the girlfriend. So I was going to be in and out of Kroger's, and there was an old lady, and she was kind of in the way of the parking spot I wanted to go into. Mm-hmm. But I could fit my car in there, right? Just not all the way because of the cart. So my very tail end of my car is sticking out, and I get out of the car, and I am helping this old lady put groceries into her car, right? Mm-hmm. And this is by no means a selfless deed, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I want to pull all the way in the spot.
Yeah.
And go get these flowers and get the fuck out of Kroger's, right?
Yeah.
So I'm inside of the car, and a guy walks by, and he's like, learn how to fucking drive, motherfucker, or get off the fucking road. Mm-hmm. And I just turn around, and I look him down in the eyes, and I say, listen, man, you don't really want to fuck with me today. Because, I had to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. I worked previously that day, and he just started walking a beeline. Right? Mm-hmm. And it's really crazy how, some people like that will talk out of their neck, but it's because usually people don't respond to that. Right? So when you get someone who actually will respond to your bullshit, and be like, listen, motherfucker, I'm not playing your game today.
Yeah.
They just turn tail and run to the store or wherever they got to be because People let people walk over them all the time.
For sure. And in every facet of life, right? Like whether it be the person who cuts you off or the people who have the anonymity behind a keyboard or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's all over the place. And like, I'm pretty like, that's the cool thing about like martial arts or jiu-jitsu. Like that's where it transcends like just the time I spent on the mat. People will remind you. Like people have told me like, yo, dude, you're a martial artist. Like remember that. Like there's shit that I can apply to my life. Like the same lessons in humility I need to apply. It's like the recovery lessons, right? It's the shit I need to apply in my work life today. Like it's the shit that I need to apply. Even my sense of community with jiu-jitsu like this. Like I may not want to go to the gym and dedicate 2 hours to rolling with a bunch of guys, right? I may have wanted to go home and play video games tonight or go to sleep, so I need to wake up in the morning. But I need my sense of community. I need to hang out with my boy. I need to spend time with my guys. I need to I need to check off those things that I know that are good for me and like keep me from like becoming that guy who's like learn how to fucking
Dude, I was pissed too because I got the flowers and when I walked out, his car had his front bumper was falling off. Like it looked like either he had hit someone or someone had hit him, and I just wanted to pull over and be like, "Listen here, you motherfucker, learn how to drive or get the fuck off the road."
Yeah, you like apples? Yeah, dude. It does feel good to like be petty sometimes, man. But I mean, golly, it's hard to take that. It's like, what's the point? Like, what's the boiling point, dude?
People are acting like a YouTube comment section nowadays.
Yeah. They are living that out. Well, and that's it. It's like that's a weird game to play with me, bro, because I'm willing to destroy my own life. So what do you think I'm willing to do to you in your life?
His eyes were just cold right there.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's it. Like I've set my life on fire several times. So what do you think I'll do to your stupid ass life in my mind? I try to think of others. That's it. Like I have this, dude, I have a lot of rage.
Me too. There is a, I think I get it from my father. There is this moment where I just see red, and like it doesn't happen often, and I've gotten better at it over time to deal with it and keep my mouth shut. But there's a moment where when you get to me to a certain point, I fucking snap.
Yeah, I do too. And it's not, and I believe you. It's everyone's is different. Mine's less red. Mine's more of I have actual like panic attacks, like full on a panic attack, and the way that looks is like I black out. Normally I don't hurt anyone. Normally I don't break anything. Normally, most 90% of the time I haven't touched anybody or broken anything, but I like hyperventilate, I cry, and I get real angry, and then it fucks me for sometimes days. And then I have a very mild version of that where it's like my anxiety hits, and I'm like trying to.
Tired.
I'm like what is it, Bruce Banner, bro? I'm the Hulk. I'm constantly trying not to let myself Hulk out because I used to put holes in walls. I used to be a full on Kyle. I used to fight people. I used to do crazy shit. So like I'm always just like push that way deep down in, just push it back,
dude. I think like I went to a workshop where they were talking about dealing with emotions and trauma therapy, and one of the facilitators was talking about like, hey men, where do you feel your anger at? And a lot of men were like, in my chest, and she was basically like, yeah, that's why all the men die from heart attacks.
That's right.
And just from stress and anger, and just push it down. Just keep pushing it down, because like me, dude, my fucking jaw gets tense, my hands get tensed up, my neck hurts, and all the rest of it when I get really, really mad.
It's funny too, because like I kind of like as critical as I am of myself, I'll like downplay things in my life. Like I've always done that. I've been like, oh, that wasn't a big deal. That wasn't as bad as it
could have been.
As it could have been, or I'll like be an apologist for people that have no need to be I don't need to defend anyone else. I don't need to defend why this happened or what. And one example is like everyone used to blow smoke up my ass when I went to jail clean. I remember having almost 2 years clean. I faced the music, right? And for robbing those pharmacies when I was young. And I went and faced the music, and I got blessed, right? I got a 10-4, so I did 4 years, but I actually wound up doing 2 and coming home early. So I did 2 years in jail, in county jail. Didn't go to prison for this. I did 2 years in county jail. They held my paperwork. It's a long story. But I wind up coming home, and I grew from it. but it also fucked me in certain ways. And I remember there were so many people who were like, "Oh man, you're so strong. You did all this," and they were blowing smoke up my ass. And this one guy, Renee, who's got like
Renee.
This guy Renee,
it's a good name.
It's a good name. He's got almost 30 years clean, and I remember seeing him at this thing, and he pulled me aside and he was like, "You must be really fucking angry, huh?" And at first I tried to downplay him. I was like, no, I'm good, man. I'm grateful. All this shit, all the like canned responses that like a person in recovery would have, or a guy who has 4 years clean would have.
I fucking hate those canned responses. Like, just be a person for a second, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he was. He pulled me aside. He's like, "Dude, you must be really fucking angry." And then it hit me. Like, the truth is like, dude, I was 10 minutes from everyone I loved. Like, I was 10 minutes in a county jail for 2 years. I had people fall off. I had my brother's mother die while I was there and couldn't go to the funeral. I had I lost people. I fucking saw who my true friends were. Like, it was a fight. I had people sharing in meetings about how they loved me, and you can relate to this, how they loved me and wanted, like, missed me,
but didn't call you.
They didn't call me or write me a letter or answer the phone when I called from jail. Like, you know, people who make my shit about them. And he was like, "You must be really fucking angry." And like, it hit me. I hadn't even like addressed it. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, it hit me like a ton of bricks, you know. And yeah, man, they're like things. I've been through a lot, you know. We have, dude. I'm 34 years old.
Yeah,
I've been through a lot of shit.
How much more can you keep shoving down?
Yeah. Before there's, and I've had ways to deal with it.
9/11, Dale Earnhardt Sr. died.
Yeah, dude. That
COVID.
COVID, Dale Earnhardt.
Donald Trump's the president. How much more anger and grief and stress and shame do you have to shove down, dude?
Dude, I float between like optimism and nihilism. I'm like, you know, well,
I've been hearing the word nihilism from a lot of my friend group recently. Like, I was with Juan and Jake, and they were talking about being nihilist, and I was like, guys, I started doing drugs because I was a nihilist.
Yeah, the thing is like, yeah, those, they're like, oh, like, it's like people say, "I don't care," as they care deeply. Like, come on, dude. Like, you, like, nihilism is like, "I believe in nothing, I don't care." It's like, dude, you have faith in a higher power and shit. Like, nihilism, to really be a nihilist is like the Big Lebowski, where like, "We believe in nothing, Lebowski." Like, full on, like full on, like fuck it, nothing is real, you know. And like that, it's not.
That's not fun.
It's not fun. It's not true, and it's just not true. And it's like everything either means something or it doesn't. And like, dude, we fall into the category of like, there is deep meaning.
There's deep meaning in life.
Deep meaning in life.
If you want to look for it, there's deep meaning, dude.
100%, dude. And
or
like,
if you want to think nothing matters, you know.
Yeah, nothing matters. The only reason you're saying that is to cope with the fact that you care so much. You know, the only reason Nietzsche wrote about nihilism is because he cared so much that he had to let other motherfuckers know that God is dead. Like, come on, dude. Like, and that's the thing. Like, people will talk about it. It sounds cool to talk about, but like, you know, it just sounds good. It's even like we said canned responses in recovery. Oh, meeting makers make it. Meeting makers fucking died.
Yeah, dude.
You know, like, how about that? Like,
I've seen people sit in a meeting their whole lives and they're sick.
You got to do it for yourself. Well, what if I fucking hate myself?
Yeah.
So how the fuck am I going to get better?
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly hate me like I hate me, and I got to do it for myself. Well, I'm fucked.
One step at a time.
All that shit sounds good. Do not base your life on folksy wisdom.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, and some of them are true at certain times. Just like if I tell you, like, the truth is, if I told you, well, I don't know, man, like, there's no one fucking key to this thing, or like how to live, or any of that. It's like all those canned responses and all those sayings.
They're winging it. Everyone is winging it.
Everyone's just fucking faking it.
I'm trying, like, I was saying this the other day to Jake and One. I'm like, bro, everyone is winging it. You know, there's just people who are a little bit better. They have varying degrees of winging it. You know what I mean? Like, they're walking in and they kind of know a little bit more.
How crazy is it? How much mind fucking power do we give it to the fact that we sell our time to people? We sell our lifeblood. We sell our time to people, and we get caught up in, if I only get this title and this, that. I used to tell myself, I had a pretty good job probably about a year ago, and I used to tell myself, once I make this obnoxious amount of money. Then I will buy a house that I can put my daughter in, and then I could be more of a dad to my daughter once I get that, even though I made an obnoxious amount of money anyway. Do you need to get that?
No.
My point is that it's never enough. It's the disease of more. It's I'll always be happy when. And the same thing with like when I get caught up in the rat race of shit, if I take a step back and I look at it for what it is, the truth is that like this is the most comforting thought, that no one's going to make it off this rock alive. Nobody's making it off this rock alive. We're all spiraling towards our death, and that's the beautiful part of it, right? It's the gift of perspective.
We are on a spiraling piece of rock with, I don't know, trillions of different planets surrounding us.
We're
And,
on a,
and my 40K a year job is the biggest idea in my head.
yeah. Yeah, if only I made 60K, then I'm really going to get it.
I'll be okay.
Yeah, you're on a marble in the middle of space, dude, and you're going to die. So why not just like give breath to the fact that like...
So let's take a brief intermission real quick, and we'll hop right back in.
Cool.
All right.
Let's do it. And we back.
Yeah, we back.
We back like cooked crack.
All right. Welcome to Agro Labs Podcast. My name is Cameron. We had a brief intermission. Work calls. When you work for the man, you can never have a fucking second to live your dreams.
We were just saying
dude.
that. It's like, hey, remember how you sell your time, dude?
Yeah.
And you constantly have to think about this thing that you sell your time to, and that's what defines you. And yeah, man, it's silly. It's funny because like I still want to
do good.
I still want to do good. I want to be a good boy, and I want to.
That's the human condition, man.
Yeah. I want to provide. And like, dude, that's the thing. Is like I've always been able to provide. I've always been provided for. I'll be fine. I always land on my feet, dude. Like you said, like no matter what you put your mind to, you always are really good. I mean, that's the hack. That's the truth. Like I always kind of what I set my intention on, I always get to like land into. Like, I mean,
People get comfortable, man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They get comfortable with how they're living. They don't want to change how they live. They don't want to grow as people. So they kind of get used to working at Walmart or waiting tables or doing whatever they can do. And that's not because they lack talent. It's because they lack drive.
Bro, that's where I'm at. Let's just be real, right? Because this isn't going on anything today.
Sure.
And I also mildly don't give a fuck if it does. Right? Well, and that's the thing. Like I've been honest, right? That's the cool thing about being myself all the time is I don't have to hide about it. Like I'm pretty transparent about who I am and what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And like I'm at this place where, dude, by circumstance and consequence, I had to get the fuck out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Didn't have to, but I did. You know, I made a decision to come out here, and what happened here is I made good friends. You know. Completed treatment, made good friends, got a good job, got a house, got a car, got all the things.
You landed.
I landed. And never in my life have I left my hometown like this and went and like set up shop somewhere and try it out. And that's the cool thing is like I'm in this like new season of my life, and like there's a big part of me that wants to either run home or not try.
Are you a little scared?
Yeah, that's it. Like I'm a little scared. Like, what if I miss out? You know,
I'm just wondering. Like, I'm generally asking: are you like a little scared of if things are going to work out the way you want them to work out, or do you just want to go home? You know,
I think
is
it's
it the
less
fear
that.
part of it?
I think it's less that because, like, dude, honestly, I feel like on a long enough timeline, I'm going to kind of get what I want because I'm very capable, right? So I know what I bring to the table. So, like, example, I know in this world, if I stay here, I'm going to do well, you know, because I do a good job. I know that I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I couldn't fuck it all up. If I go get high, it's over with, you know?
Sure.
But that's
or it's not, or you just smoke crack successfully under the radar for months.
Wow, that would be cool. Just kidding. No, that's the thing. Like, dude,
you don't want to smoke crack.
No,
it's not good.
I don't, dude. Well, I mean, so I tell myself like, oh, is it because I want to be close to my daughter? I want to build a life for my daughter, and like that's not necessarily it. Because like something came up on my radar in another state, and I was like, ooh, and it's that shiny thing, right? Like, ooh.
They pay for travel costs.
I'll have more money, more opportunity, this, that, and the third. And I see that like, oh, chase the be happy, win. Go there then. And I kind of deaded that pretty quick. And I still kept some like ideas open, like what would it look like in Atlanta? Like, is that something I could do? And I could. You know, that's the cool thing. Like, dude, with 6 months clean, I now have the blessing to return home if I wanted to. The prodigal son could return, but do I want to? You know, I can continue to live up here and travel, and we've talked to this ad nauseum because like you're my supervisor too, right? And I've been explicit. I've been like, yo, I don't want my supervisor. I don't want you to be blindsided. I didn't want my big boss to be blindsided because I feel like this was a cool opportunity. So like just now like trying not to like get in my own way. Like there's no fear. Like there's no fear about staying because I know, dude. God's so real, dude. He's been like, yo, here's friends. Here's a place you can work the steps and get better. Here's an opportunity. Here's all these things that like you need to survive and you're well provided for. All that's here. And then the selfish, self-centered part of me, the selfish fear part is like fear of missing out. Like, oh, are you missing out with your kid? Are you missing out with your friends back home? Is, you're happily ever after in Atlanta? Or are you going to find that here? Because no one wants to fucking die alone.
Those are such big questions.
Right, the biggest ones.
Those are like, am I going to die? Are you going to die alone? Or are you going to find happiness?
Yeah.
Those are like such overarching, like huge questions. I don't know. Am I going to die alone? I don't know.
I don't want specific. That's it. I don't even want specifics. It's not like, oh, attain a goal. It's like, dude, I want to find, a happily ever after and like, fulfill my purpose. And it's like, dude, just slow down. So you got 6 months clean. You're good. But I want what I want.
You said a whole lot, dude. Finding your purpose, dude. There's people, they're 50 and they're still trying to find their purpose.
Well, and that there I am going like, oh, do I want to get fit and teach boxing again in the world of COVID? Like that hurts my brain even thinking about. Like, is that something I want to do?
I want this to be over with. I want COVID to be done with. I want the Rona to go away,
dude. So bad. It was a big part of my relapse.
Do you think they're going to lock us down?
Yeah.
Again?
Yep. Well, here's the thing. It's like spreading like wildfire now. We're fucking mishandling it. It's craziness. We're probably going to have to lock down again. We're essential, though, so we'll be there. But
my girlfriend still hasn't got back pay from March. And, like, she's not one of those people who, like, lied about having a job. She, like, had a job and got laid off.
I don't want to talk about this on this thing because I came out smelling like a rose, however the fuck. Again, I attribute that to God and God's will. Everything that happened. Well, and it allowed me to, like,
they owe her $12,000, bro.
Yeah.
And if we shut down again, is she going to get it? They're going to owe her 24?
Dude, I don't want the IRS to know how much money I spent this year. It's crazy. I mean,
they're going to find out.
They're going to find out, dude. They'll never know how much fucking
Are you going to file
crack
Are you going to file taxes this year?
I don't know, man. I don't even... Dude, here's the thing. While we were sitting here, I was like, I don't think I've paid my electric bill this month. Like, I'm a degenerate, bro. I forget... It's a miracle that I function. It's crazy that I was able to like set roots here, and like so bring it back. I forgot there was a reason why I want to talk about that, but like I've the courageous thing in my life to go somewhere I've never been and to have that honored. Like I feel like my God has honored that. Like, yo, dude, you've come out here, you've made good friends, you got a fucking job. Like to be able to work where I work right now and to have done it when I did and everything that's transpired and I've almost been there 3 months. It's like. It's been really nice.
Yeah.
And, like, to hit a milestone, it's been really cool. And, like, to come full circle today, like, dude, one of my dearest friends who wouldn't let me kill myself, like, recovery in action, right? Like, literally, if one of your dearest friends went and got high, and instead of watching him set his life on fire, you're knocking on his door while he's smoking crack in his room and shooting heroin. Like, yo, dude, call me every hour so I know you're alive. It's hard.
I haven't had good experiences doing that with people.
Most people don't. And there was about 3 or 4 guys with them, but like they gave me enough courage to do this. He drove me to the airport, and like for him to come out today and come see where I work you know, because we still work for the same parent company and all that shit. Like, to like see him today, it's just like, it comes full circle, and it's like, dude, there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence that all those guys, like, that's the second of those guys to come out here.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really fucking cool, man. And that's why I have to like sit on my hands when I don't know what to do. Like, sometimes I want to be impulsive and just press the red button. You know, sometimes I want to be impulsive and tell people about themselves. Sometimes I want to be impulsive and just like, that's the thing. Do you want to fuck with the guy who's willing to press the red button? Because sometimes I think about it. Mm-hmm. I get mouthy. And dude, I suck at like inviting humility into my life and being patient, bro. Those are two things I lack exceedingly.
See, for me, man, like, I was trying to tell my girlfriend this a couple months ago. She had like all these huge plans for the house, which they have come to fruition, right?
Yeah.
Like, I love my house. And I'm just, every time she would like come up with a plan, I'm like, okay, well, we can do it. And she goes, well, you don't seem excited about it. And I'm like, I used to live in a trap house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before, like, listen, when I met you, I had just got a bed frame for my queen bed.
Yeah, I just did that too.
I was on a twin size mattress for 4 months and had no problem with my twin size mattress on the floor. So like all of these extra good things in my life, they're just good things. Like
icing on the cake.
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's some ice cream, right? My life's ice cream, and then you're pouring the nuts and the chocolate syrup on it, and I'm still going to eat the ice cream without the nuts or the chocolate syrup.
Yeah, it's
still ice cream. And so I think that's kind of where me and you differ a little bit more, because like, I'll be honest with you. Am I going to work there for the rest of my life? Probably not. Do I care enough to like move up? Somewhat.
Yeah.
But do I really care deep down? No.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's the thing is like, so, and it's fear, right? So there's a fear in me that's like, dude, I got fucking hand tattoos and track marks on my arm, and I'm a convicted felon since I was 20 years old. So like, what options do I have? So, I mean, dude, I've done the gym thing. I've made good money doing the gym thing. I've got rewarding pieces of doing the gym thing and had that happily ever after, and I set that on fire. I've done the work and treatment thing to make really fucking good money, and rewardingly, like, dude, one of my closest friends, she literally Snapchat me now. I tried to help her I saw her in meetings years ago. She was one of the last people I put in treatment, you know? And she sent me a text when I wound up getting honest, right? And I opened my phone. There's like 80 text messages from me being in treatment. I hadn't had my phone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Damn, that's hard.
Isn't that crazy?
That's rough.
3 weeks not having my phone, but I have all these text messages, and one of them is her, and she says, "Look at you trying to save everybody but yourself." And I was like, ah. And now she's got like 3 months more clean than me. You know, she just hit like 9 months. But this girl struggled for years. For years would not get clean. And I've got the reward of like being involved in that process, even when I was running from myself. So like I've had all these like, I just don't know what I want to do anymore. Like, now what? Now what do I do? Do I rebuild and go back to working with people in treatment? Do I get some clinical chops under me? Do I stay in this field? Do I go back to teaching boxing? Do I find something else? Do I become a fucking barber? I don't know what I want to do, man.
A barber? You'd be a good barber.
I want to be a comedian, bro. I would love to get up on a stage and just be a comedian and fucking make people laugh and make observations.
You got the face for it.
Thank you, dude. It's a funny face.
You got a good jaw structure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
From the front. Isn't it weird how handsome I am from this angle?
Stop saying from the front,
and then
dude.
From this angle?
You look fine.
I know.
You look fine, dude. You got a face.
I got a face.
And a head.
Dude, I'm getting a Frank Ocean tattoo tomorrow. Is that gay? I don't give a
Is it his face?
Dude, it's the blonde cover. It's a stippled picture. The dude did this really dope stippled version, and he did a really small one on somebody. And I was like, dude, I want that tattoo, the stippled badass portrait of Frank from Blonde. He's like it's a shirtless homosexual man I'm going to tattoo on my body. But it's cool, though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gay.
It's nothing gay about that.
Dude.
I listen to Frank all the time, bro.
Yeah, he's a good singer, man.
Well, I'm getting that, and I also talked about doing a Mac portrait, which like would be dope. And I have a very specific idea for it. I want like the candle, the saint candle. I want to do like a saint candle of Mac, with the halo behind it and all that shit. I'm going to do that somewhere because I really like Mac Miller. But, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of silly to get band tattoos, but I think portraits are dope, man.
If you could hang out with one famous person, who would it be?
Dead or alive or alive?
All the way. Doesn't matter.
You know who I would? And I'd probably relapse with him. I don't know. I'd probably have fun with him today, though. Action Bronson. I think me and Action Bronson would have a good time. He got fit now.
He got fit,
dude. He's lost 130 pounds.
No way.
He's lost like 130, 140 pounds. He works out. He's like throwing weights around. Honestly, he's kind of inspired me. Like if you look at Action Bronson's Instagram, Bam Bam Baklava, I'm telling you. And he travels around the world like Anthony Bourdain.
And eats all the best food he ever wants.
And he smokes mad dabs, which I wouldn't do. Mad dabs, but not do it. Listen to the junkies, and I was like, we could do that, right?
Yeah, dude, it's just weed, dude.
Yeah, what are you gonna do when I eat it?
It's legal in Colorado, bro.
It's my brain's so crazy. Like literally, it's like tries to discriminate on. It's like Bill W took LSD, and it's like, dude, I lost my mind on DMT and like wound up in a mental institution. Like I can't do hallucinogens, and still my mind's like, maybe you can do that. It's like Eric called me like the day Oregon decriminalized drugs and was like, dude, well, how grateful are you not to be on a plane on your way to Oregon and go smoke fucking crack? And I was like, oh yeah, that's smart.
I mean, it's legal.
Yeah, it's like it's not. I'm not going to
decriminalized.
Decriminalized.
What do you think had to transpire in Oregon for them to say decriminalize crack?
I think it's honestly, I think it's based around the fact that they are breaking the stigma that drug addicts need to be put in jail, and it gives them a better opportunity to connect them to treatment. And that's one thing I always want to do. Me and you talked about this. Like maybe my next route is really finding that nonprofit work that I want to do. Maybe I really do want to do a recovery community organization in Ohio. Maybe I do want.
But is it ever going to be enough?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, are you going to be fucking the dragon hoarding all of its gold for the rest of your life? Like, oh,
we're really helping people. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because like, that's where I'm at with this, man. Like, I love helping people. I love my job most days, right?
Most days, yeah.
Most days. But like, there's a good out of a month. There's a good week where I might be like, man, dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
But are you in it for the long haul, bro? Is it just a short-term thing? Because, like, for you, man, you're good at so much, right? And that's what I really see is, like, people who are good at a lot get bored easy.
Yeah, dude, I'm good out the gate, bro. Just like our race today. I'm good out the gate. And that's honestly, like, that's what happens. I get to this, like, now what thing. And what am I trying to rebuild for? Like, that same thing happened in my last year that I got clean. I remember I was like, if I can get back to martial arts and that story I told you about the guy and then going to the main gym, I wound up there and I sold a ton of memberships and I was teaching again and I had private clientele and I'm doing boxing privates and I got there. I got to a year. I had a year clean. I work at an MMA gym again. I'm killing it. I'm making great money, about $1,000 every week. And I got these private lessons I'm doing. I'm kicking ass, right? And I remember I was like, now what? I just remember being like, oh, is this it? It's not here. It wasn't once I get that back, then I can be happy because I went and left recovery when I had all that and it wasn't enough. So the answer is never in anything outside of me. It's inside out. And like constantly debating that with myself. Like, is this outside thing going to make things better? And it looks like it does. A lot of times it looks like that's going to be the thing. So like even now, like I'm at this place where like, shit, this thing's probably not going to be released until after the thing changes. But like candidly, like, dude, I'm probably going to change my role in which I work in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect where I live, or in how I live. And hope and I'm pretty hardcore on staying here. I'm pretty much decided to be here. But people have made it attractive, like, oh, you can come back here and do this and do that. But like I definitely don't want to I
The
don't want
grass
to.
ain't always greener on the other side, dude.
It's because it's fake, bro.
Yeah, dude. That's pro turf. You know what I mean? That's football turf. You know what I mean? That's not grass.
It always looks better when it's fake. That's the same reason why every time I'm in a relationship, that fucking new pussy looks good, and every time I'm not, I just wish I had someone to cuddle with at night, dude. And like just trying to be okay with myself either way is so difficult. And like that's where I'm at. Like even like that's a good example. Like, dude, I value a good job and one that's rewarding. So I have to put in the work and honor that. I value.
You know what was really humbling for me?
What's that?
I had a client come in and he was he basically just told me off the cuff. He told me he made $45K a year as a manager at McDonald's, and that made me feel like so small. I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But he did, right? And the truth behind that is that like, if McDonald's offered me $45K a year to go work at McDonald's, I might just do it.
Right, dude. Like, and that's it. It's like, okay, so if we are just bottom line, like, okay, we're just gonna sell our time now. Yeah, dude, let's go do anything else. I could literally sell fucking steak knives and make more money.
Right.
You know, I mean, and that's it.
What
like,
a shitty job to sell steak knives.
right, dude. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's it
selling
gonna
Kirby's?
What's it gonna be, bro? Like, I mean, dude, I got humbled today. I got a text message that humbled me today. I can't speak exactly what it was, but let's just say it's someone I hold in high reverence, like basically just putting a boundary with me. Like, yo, like, keep it up. You're doing great, but, you know.
They just stuck it to you?
They didn't stick it to me, bro, but
They
like.
just told you how it was?
They gave me a little dose of reality. Like, yo, this is what it's going to be. And it's already what I knew what it was. You know, I already knew what it was, but like I continue to have to be checked, bro. And I wish I could check myself before people do it, you know. But it's okay. Like it's okay. It's like, dude, be humble or be humiliated. So like, it's good that people have boundaries with me. It's good that people check me. Like, dude, I'll tell you one that hurt me the other day. This is funny. Nice rejection story, bro. Again,
rejection?
No one's gonna know about this because the shit is not released today. And I honestly don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
single as fuck right now.
Single,
dude.
ready to dingle.
Exactly, ready to fucking make some empty promises. You know? So I've been talking to a young lady back home.
It's amazing,
right? It's been cool, and I call it home, right? But back in Atlanta. So back in Atlanta. There's this girl I've known for a long time, and I've been talking to her, and it's been going pretty good. And I've been taking my time because it's inside out, right? She's not something to conquer. It's cool. Like, I'm not in a place yet. She's in this place, and we've been enjoying each other's company, right? It's been going pretty good. And when I was there last time, this person's ignored me, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I just felt some type of way about it.
Those normie girls are weird.
Right. It's like, dude, this girl can just drink and she's fine. And it was all good, bro. Like, I really enjoyed my time with her, but I also got to, like, in my head about, I was like, I don't know if I should spend so much time with this girl. So I kind of backed off. And another one hit me up. So I was like, oh, okay, well, two's better than one. Like, let's talk to this one. So there's another girl I had a little history with. We had talked before and then cut off. So now I'm back here for the past month, dude. And both of them are kind of hitting me up, and I already feel like a scumbag. I'm like, why am I talking to both
That's
of them?
okay. You're single. You're
but
a bachelor.
I'm single. I'm a
You're
bachelor.
34, dude.
I'm 34. I'm a bachelor.
This is as good as it's ever going to get.
Mm-hmm. I get younger every day, dude. So I'm like, okay, talking to both these girls, and it's nice. It's nice having that, but this is like, again, a humbling boundary. It was nice to be humbled, and it was something I needed to happen so I wouldn't have to do it. It was so nice. This girl that I started really feeling some type of way with, like, I kissed her when I was back home, and we had this little energy. And
Damn,
we
you kissed her?
Oh, a little kissing.
Holy shit.
But we had this nice energy, and she wanted to see me when I came back, and I was like, okay. So now I'm like, okay, the other one that I've been kissing and hanging out with, I'm like, fuck.
You kissed the other one too?
Oh my God, I kissed two of them, dude.
Jesus,
it's crazy.
dude.
But that's where I'm at. Is like, I'm trying to be a good guy. I don't want to do this. So, I know that the newer of the two, I'm like, I need to end this. This isn't, I really have feelings for the other one, and like that, I need to end this, but I hadn't done it yet. And she got to me first, dude. She like hit me up and was like, she hit me up the other day and was like, "Hey, can we talk?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah." So she calls me and
You're
she's
like,
been,
yeah, what are you talking about?
hell yeah. And she's been
Are we gonna kiss?
She's trying to FaceTime me all the time, you know, and like text me every day, and I'm not getting caught up in these good morning, good night texts. I'm like, God damn it, dude, why am I doing this? And I just don't really want to participate in this, but like I didn't man up enough to draw my boundary. And she called me and was like, "Hey, you know, like I'm not in a place for this right now. Like it's going to sound like not you, it's me, but I assure you, you've been the sweetest guy to me, and it really is me." And I was like, "That's great. Thank you for telling me now. I really appreciate it. I still wish you well, and you get a friend out of this. Goodbye." All right, cool. So we end it, and it's good. And I had to deal with the rejection feeling. I was like, oh, and I was at work too. I was like, oh,
and it was a good thing.
It was a good thing. It was good for me, and it freed me up to like continue my pursuits on the one that I really had been working with and trying to like build connection with. And like, dude, as soon as I feel like any awkwardness, I want to just double down and not just like, fuck it, this isn't worth doing. I just need to go crawl back in my depressed hole and not bother anybody.
Do you think you would be happy if you settled down?
I think I want to be. I hope so. I mean, I want to settle down.
I mean, they're coming out with sex robots pretty soon.
Just give me a little. Oh, yeah, dude, that's cool.
Like $1,300, dude.
Yeah, well, I just stick my dick in the fridge, dude, and close it real slow. It's a sex robot. No, man, I don't know, man. I value that. So I don't have a fucking biological clock. You know what I mean? I'm fine, but a part of me is like, dude, am I gonna just be the single dad who? Dude, I have looked for God between a girl's legs, and I don't want to do that. Like, it ain't there. I've conquered plenty of them.
Church.
Take me to church, dude. That's not it either. So there's an emptiness in that vanity.
Yeah,
just chasing. So like, and you know about that, and I do too. And it's just like, I want a good girl, but I also need to be a good boy. So,
dude, like for me, and this is gonna sound so cliche, I wasn't looking for it when I met my girlfriend. You know what I mean? But it just so happened. I think COVID had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, it forces you in with her. Like, let's see.
Yeah. It was like, well, come stay with me. And I was just like, all right. And then it turned out to be like something amazing. Like I really loved her. But, dude, I get it, dude. Because I don't think anyone wants... there's really few relationships I see in 2020 that work out, and people get scared to be in relationships nowadays. And then... And also, we're all poor. Like, everyone's poor, you know what I mean? So it's like, the only time I see people in, like, serious relationships is when they're, like, you know, like, doing somewhat good in life, you know? They have, like, a meaningful relationship. They're able to, like, have money for a wedding, you know? They're able to... they're able to... They have good credit scores, you know?
You know how I think about dating? I'm like, I think, and I date for me. I used to date to try to convince a woman to sleep with me, and after I did it about 100 times, I realized, like, oh, a date's for both of us. It's for me to, like, see if I like this person. You know, nothing worse than hooking up with a girl that when you're done and you have post-nut clarity, you're like, I wish this girl would get the fuck out of my
just
bed.
Jerk off before you do it.
Dude, exactly. So I don't want... That's
the test. If you jerk off and you still want to...
Yeah.
Go on a date, then go on a date.
I've never got to really run that through the filter, but I definitely I date to see if I like being around this person, because I'm like, I'm going to have to take on all their shit, you know? I'm signing up to deal with your bullshit.
Yeah.
And I can hardly deal with my own, so why am I...
People don't even show you all their bullshit for a long time. Mm-hmm. They're like, I'm only going to give you tidbits.
Dude. I had one girl, I had a Bumble. You know what Bumble is? It's where the girl...
Like a bumblebee?
A little bumblebee. Well, it's like Tinder. It's like the girl chooses you first. You know? They choose you, and then they have to message you first. So it's like I had a little Bumble going, and I've had a little bit of luck there, and this was like about a year ago. And this is like a horror story. We'll end it on this, because I got to get ready for bed soon.
Sure.
But this girl... She's like, you know, matches with me, and she messages me for a little bit, you know, and then she falls off. So she followed me on Instagram, And then later on, she's like messaging me like, "Oh yeah, we never hung out. We should really get together." I was like, "Look, I'm down. It's midnight. If you want to come over, like I'm just literally playing Call of Duty right now. Like you can come over. You know, we can do a little cuddling and have a good time. You can stay the night." She's like, "Absolutely, I'm
What
down."
a romantic you are.
I'm such a sweet guy. So I'm just making my intentions now. Like, dude, if you're coming over to my house at midnight, like, you know what it is. Like, we know what it is. It's all good. I'm not taking you on a date. I'm not trying to woo you. And I kind of gave her that option. Like, hey, you can wait and I can take you out, or you can come over. Like, just know it's going one of two ways what we're doing. Like, that's kind of what I was doing in that situation. So she was like, okay, cool. So she comes over. You know, we're hanging out. It's going well. Like, I'm still playing Call of Duty. I'm just me all the time. Like, all right. And she wants to play, and we're laughing and giggling. You know, little heat. You know, a little making out. Take her to the back.
Ooh,
Hey,
kissing.
Little kissing. I would like to. I kiss and tell.
Yeah,
huh?
dude. You like to kiss, dude.
I like to kiss, dude.
You're making me blush.
I'm wrong. Dude, I'll kiss you right now, bro. Listen, I take her back to my room. I'm like, all right, let's go lay down, you know? So we go back to my bed and we put on a little movie, and she gets in my bed and she goes, and this is, you know, you talk about taking on someone's shit and they don't show you they're crazy yet. This girl showed me her crazy immediately. She gets in my bed and she's like making
I'm a
out.
dick.
No, exactly. And I was like, well, let me see that bad boy. No, she's like, we're making out. And she's like, just so you know, I'm not sleeping with you tonight. I'm not going to fuck on our first date or what. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. So like, no, that's not what she said. She goes, no, she's like, slow down, cowboy. Something like that. Like,
Slow down, cowboy?
Like, slow down. She said something
That's
like
what
that.
she said?
So I swear to God. She was like, slow down, cowboy. So she like slowed me down. And I was like, immediately, that turned me off. I was like, okay. My dick dies. Literally.
Dies.
I have a whole like memorial for my dick. I was like, you know, we're gathered here today.
21 guns
For
fired.
Shane's dick. It was full of life just moments ago. I gave a whole eulogy in my mind. So my dick dies. I was like, cool. And like, dude, I'm not gonna pressure. I was like, cool, good deal. So I cut on like a comedy thing, and like we're watching it, and I'm laying there, and she's cuddled up on me, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna go to sleep like this. I just like lay up, and she's gonna fall asleep. I'll fall asleep. That's fine. And she wants to cuddle. That's fine. It's all good. Like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that you came over to my house. It's kind of weird that we got hot and heavy. We go back to the bedroom, and then you're like, you don't want to be a whore, which I get.
Yep.
But I explicitly told you, hey, we can wait and go be normal people on a date.
You don't have to come to my
You
shitty
don't
apartment.
have to come to my shitty apartment,
Yeah.
watch me play Call of Duty,
You
and then
don't.
go cuddle up with me. So this is where it gets terrifying. So I'm laying in bed watching this
God.
movie, and
I'm getting scared for you.
Dude, it's scary.
I'm sweating.
I fall asleep. I wake up, open my eyes. She's staring at me.
No.
She's just laying there, looking up, staring at me.
No.
So I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I am like, this girl, I was like, is she going to cut my dick off in the middle of the night? Like, she's just staring at me. And I was like, yeah, I forgot what I did, but like basically like rolled over, and then I stayed awake the rest of the night. And then I think at like 5 in the morning, I was like, I gotta go to work at 6, and I kicked her out like 3 or 4 hours later after being up all night, worried that this girl just freaked me the fuck out, dude. And I immediately, I'm not one to like ghost a girl either. I like ghosted her. I was like, like it scared the fuck out of me. I was like, how the fuck is it this girl just gonna stare at me in my bed and make me feel uncomfortable?
Dude. And I know you want to leave, and I want to tell you a story
Go
because this is crazy, right? And how about the guys who force girls into having sex with them? So I'm sure that happens all the time. We're like, because like that's how I am. If a girl tells me like, "Hey, no, like I don't want to do this,"
Yeah.
I just okay,
Cool.
all right,
No big deal.
yeah,
Literally, I can make me come in like a minute.
yeah, dude, 30 seconds.
You're gonna take me longer than me.
yeah. The longest part of me beating off,
Yeah.
is searching for the video.
That's
on
right.
Pornhub.
I know, I'm great. I'm good, and I would, and it's such a turnoff too. Like, yo, like I date to be into it too, so like I can get thrown off. So I was like, oh, okay, so I get it. But yeah, how about those guys?
Because like, you know, my girlfriend told me, and she was like, when I deny you sex, you don't really make a big deal about it. And I'm like, because it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's all good.
I live with you.
Yeah,
You know, see you in the morning.
try again later.
yeah, whatever. And you know, of course, you know, I try when she says no, but like, can you imagine being one of those guys who's just like, no, you know what I mean, or however they act. Mm-hmm. So I want to tell this story because I think it happens to guys too. Mm-hmm. So I'm on a camping trip, and I am with like 20 to 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
The camping trip was going well. I was in Akron. A lot of pretty girls. And one of the nights, it was probably the third or fourth night, we were up at the campground. Me and my buddy who went up there, we had a trailer. We had a pop-up camper.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sleeping in the on the sofa, I guess, the sofa sleeper. And that night it was rained out. Okay, everyone's tents got like rained out. And there was a girl who I've known for a long time. And she sends me a text. It's like 4 a.m. and she goes, "Hey, my tent is completely soaked. And could I be able to sleep in your pop-up tonight?" Okay. Now, we've been friends forever. So I thought like nothing weird about it other than like this girl's kind of bigger.
Yeah.
And by kind of, I mean bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm also big.
Mm-hmm.
And because of it raining, we already have 8 people in the camper.
Yeah.
Which means she's going to sleep next to me.
Yeah.
On this tiny sofa sleeper.
Yeah.
Right? So I told her, like, I mean, like, I feel bad, but no. And she's like, please, just, like, let me come sleep in the camper. And I'm like, all right, okay. So I let her in. I'm tired, dude. It's 4 a.m. I'm tired, dude.
Yeah, let me sleep.
So in order for us to sleep comfortably, we have to be cuddled, right? Like I don't want to cuddle her, but I have to spoon.
Yeah.
I have to spoon her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I go to bed. I was starting having a really good dream. It was a really good dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was having sex in my dream.
Hell yeah.
And I was lucid dreaming, right? And then I started realizing, like, someone's touching my dick.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up, and this girl is taking my dick and rubbing it on her pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Her bare pussy.
Yeah.
There's no pants on anymore.
Yeah.
She took my dick through my boxers, pulled her pants down.
I like this story.
Pulled her pants down, and was rubbing it on herself.
You got raped?
And stroking my dick, right?
Wow.
And I'm not going to say her name, but I was like, what are you doing? And she tried to play it off like she was sleeping.
Oh, no.
Huh? What are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
So, hey, I got Me Too, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Damn, dude. That is nuts. Well, yeah, I'm not going to...
I didn't even ask for it.
Yeah. Oh, but I was about to go into...
I could not make consent for that.
Yeah, I was about to go into when I got diddled when I was a kid.
Let's save that for the next
Yeah,
podcast.
save that for the next one. I love you, dude.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by the Agro Labs podcast.
Hell yeah. Stay aggro.
Stay aggro.
Fuck everybody. We're all going to die,
Yeah, dude. Nihilism. We're all going to die. Thanks for listening to us tonight, and see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Holla, holla.